the Foreign Minister's press conference starts.
Well, first of all, I have one point to make about the earthquake damage done in Haiti and its related assistance. Today, vis-a-vis affected people in Haiti struck by earthquake which had occurred on August 14th, decision was made to provide $3.25 million emergency grant assistance. Due to magnitude 7.2 earthquake, as of now, about 650,000 people are still in need of emergency humanitarian assistance in Haiti. This being the case, Japan decided to provide food, water, and sanitation-related assistances through international organizations such as WFP and UNICEF. Japan will continue to cooperate on reconstruction of Haiti. That's it from me. Thank you.
Now we would like to take questions. Please raise your hand if you have a question, and if you are called upon, please identify yourself and your affiliation before asking a question. Fukuda-san. This is Fukuda of Yomiuri. Now, 9/11, the 20th anniversary, or 20 years have passed since then. Your appreciation on the role played by the Self-Defense Forces.
2001, after 9/11 had occurred on the very day, I was in Burkina Faso in Africa. Myself, I was watching CNN broadcasting news and so forth, and I watched the World Center building fall, which was very shocking seeing. As for the fight against terrorism, ever since the incident, this has become a very important topic. After 9/11, Self-Defense Forces had made various international contributions abroad through supply support, humanitarian reconstruction assistances, UN PKO, anti-piracy, emergency assistances, capacity building assistance, etc., etc. And the expected roles have been played at each of the activities, and believe these have been met with a favorable assessment. PKO legislation was enacted, during which time at the Daiichi session there are varied views being expressed. However, more than 20 years have passed since, and SDF's PKO activities are being favorably assessed both at home and abroad. That is a definite thing that I can say. So going forward, SDF, as expected, to proactively contribute to the peace and stability of the international community.
Next question, Nishimura-san. This is Nishimura of Radio France. I would like to ask a question with the treated water at Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Before the discharge, what kind of process is Japan ready to take in order to gain understanding of other countries and NGOs? Needless to say, IAEA says that it will check the safety, but when it comes to IAEA, has been the organization that has been promoting the marine discharge for several years, and so there will be possibility the NGOs in some countries would not place their trust on them. Do you believe that the IAEA's assessment is sufficient?
Well, first of all, as for the ALPS treated water and its handling, just the other day, agreement was made that Japanese government decided on its basic policy. So if it is to be discharged to the ocean, it will take place after 2 years' time. And apart from that, vis-a-vis international community, public communication will be done meticulously, and based on the scientific evidences, its safety will be confirmed. And those are very important points. And vis-a-vis the different countries, diplomatic routes are used for making explanation as well as making explanations to the press, and through the website communication will be strengthened further so that the Japanese policy will be met with a wider understanding both at home and abroad. You talked about IAEA. Of course, IAEA is a UN expert agency dealing with nuclear power. You know that 173 member countries are there. It's a highly reliable, reputable organization. And based on, as regards the reliability, they are so reputable as an organization. And Deputy Director General who visited Japan this time said that the review will be conducted objectively and scientific based. As for the safety of the ALPS treated water, it will be reviewed from a neutral and technical point of view.
Any other questions? Yamamoto-san. This is Yamamoto of NHK. With regard to the diplomatic and timeline and schedule, now there are going to be UN plenary sessions are scheduled. Prime Minister Suga, how is he going to respond to that? Foreign Minister Motegi, are you ready to participate in the plenary session in New York?
Yeah, from Japan, who will attend UN General Assembly and so forth. At this time, nothing has been decided. Well, currently, the leaders as well as the foreign ministers of which country will be attending, and we are making confirmations as to who will be attending from which country to UN General Assembly. With regard to the visit by Prime Minister to the United States, for one thing, there is a Quad in March. For the very first time, the virtual Quad Summit meeting was held, at which time it was decided to hold a face-to-face Quad Summit meeting within this year. So those 4 countries, Quad, has been working with realization of FOIP, free and open Indo-Pacific, and in order to realize that, this initiative is a very important initiative. And also, in view of the importance of various issues that Quad needs to take up and building a personal trusting relations amongst the leaders, it's very important to have a face-to-face candid discussion while taking necessary anti-COVID measures. And having said that, as for the Quad, the specific dates for the meeting is being worked out at its time. It's at a final working out period.
Any other questions? If not, the press conference is complete. Thank you.